This is Capital Games. I am the Wiz. One of the most popular genres in all of gaming is the racing genre. Now, it hasn't gotten as much press or as, a lot of love as it has in other years. But if we go to Straits Research, a firm that does a bunch of research and polls, they list that racing games are the 6th most popular genre of games that there is in gaming. So they tend to make good money, and they have a dedicated fan base who loves those games. There's some of the hardcore ones that really like the Gran Turismos and the Forzas and the Assetto Corsis, and there are the others that like more arcadey stuff, like Burnout and Need for Speed. But some of the most popular games that are racing games are the kart racers. And of course, if we're talking about kart racers, we have to talk about the 300-pound gorilla that is Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as of right now, since it's been on the Switch, has sold 52 million copies as of the end of last year. That is huge. It is the best-selling game of this generation and on the Switch. That's a huge amount of copies, and it's still making money because the DLC for that is still coming up. So the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been a huge hit, for Nintendo specifically on that. But as popular as Mario Kart and kart racers are popular because of Mario Kart, and people who enjoy those types of racers gravitate towards Mario Kart, even though there have been a lot of companies as of recently that have been trying to get their own stake in the claim of the kart racing genre. If we look at recent examples, I know Nickelodeon has had a few. There's probably others that I'm missing. If there's free-to-play, we have Kart Racer Drift, that came out, I think, sometime last year, I think. I played a little bit of it. That's a decent game. Not enough to keep my attention, but it's good, and it's free to play. And then, of course, if we're going to talk about kart racers, I think the one that I think got a lot of attention when it came out, maybe not a lot of sales, but a good amount of attention, was the Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. And I think the last one to do was the last one to do was Sonic Team Racing, which was but I really liked Sonic Transformed. That was a good one. So kart racers, depending on the quality, end up being pretty good sellers or pretty popular. I'm not sure how much Team Racing did for Sonic, but I know that Transformed did pretty well. So why am I mentioning all this? Well, one of the biggest companies in the world is getting back into gaming in a big way. They've started with some other games that have been releasing recently, but I think one of their big ones they're hoping that will cause enough of a stir and a good chunk of the marketplace is Disney. And Disney is releasing this week in early access their free-to-play title, Disney Speedstorm. And what it is, it's a kart racer with a lot of the Disney IPs and properties, except for Marvel, of course. In the trailer that they have on Steam right now, they show that you can play as Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Mulan, Hercules, Jack Sparrow. Basically anything that is particularly Disney, or specifically Disney, I should say. It's going to be in Speedstorm, it seems like. They also showed characters from Monsters, Inc. I wouldn't be surprised if characters from Toy Story pop up in there as well. This is looking like a lot of the characters that Disney owns are going to be in this game. And this is from the creators of the Asphalt series, which is Gameloft. So when it comes to free-to-play games and racing games, they tend to know their stuff. But here's the thing with Speedstorm, okay? It is a free-to-play title, but it's not releasing right now as a free-to-play title. It is on early access, which I'll get into my feelings with that, but it's on early access, and you have to pay for the privilege to play this game early. And the Founders Packs they have here when it comes to Speedstorm is interesting, I should say. Yeah, I think interesting is a kind word to say on these ones. So let's get started with the types of Founders Packs that you have for Disney Speedstorm. First Founder Pack that they have, that if you want to play this game right now, it's a $30 Founders Pack. It's called the Standard Pack. And you get early access to Speedstorm right now, as of tomorrow. You can unlock Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. You'll also get an additional racer of your choice, 400 tokens, which is in-game currency, 2 Golden Pass credits, which I'm not really sure what those are. I think they're for the Battle Pass. And exclusive member racing suits for Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and your chosen racer. and cart liveries for those as well, and an exclusive motto and avatar for being a founder. That is $30. Okay, so you're gonna get 3 characters for $30 that you can play right away. For the deluxe founders pack, $49.99. You get early access to Speedstorm. You're gonna get Mickey, you're gonna get Donald, and you'll get Mulan, and you'll also get a racer of your choice, and 7,000 tokens, I should say, 2 Golden Pass credits, exclusive founder racing suits for the characters that you are getting, and liveries for them as well, and an exclusive motto and avatar. And finally, for the Ultimate Founders Pack, you know it's Ultimate because it says it's Ultimate, it is $70, and you're going to get early access to the game. You're going to get Mickey, Donald, Mulan, Jack Sparrow, and Hercules. You're going to get an additional character of your choice, 12,000 tokens, 3 Golden Pass credits, exclusive suits for the characters, liveries for the characters, an exclusive motto and avatar, and cartwheels and wings for Donald Duck Kart. Okay, I don't know why that's such a big deal, but that's $70. So minimally, if you want to go in and play the game right now, it's $30, and you can only race as 3 characters. Now, I'm going to assume that the tokens that they have too, you can use to unlock certain characters. So I think that's a fair assumption. I don't know offhand because they're not showing anything regarding how the free-to-play model works, but I'm going to assume that in that case. What that is basically saying is for $30 right now, if you wanted to play this game, you can only play as 3 characters. You're not even getting you're not even getting a lot of characters. In fact, if you get the Ultimate one, which is $70, which is the price of a new game, you're not getting all the characters, because they also show characters like Sully, Mike Wazowski. They're showing other characters, Belle, the Beast. They're showing other characters in the trailers that you only have a choice of unlocking 1 character. I think in the sense of, are you getting your money's worth for getting an Ultimate Pack or a Founders Pack? No, I really don't think so. I think that's honestly a shit deal in that end. If you want to charge $30 and give them, I don't know, 5 racers, fine. And then charge them $50 and give them 8, okay, fine. But the Ultimate Pack should have every character unlocked, and then unlocked in perpetuity. In my opinion, something that Hi-Rez does for their games, such as Smite, Paladins, and I'm pretty sure Rogue Company does it too, that you pay a flat fee, I think it's like $30-$40, and you get all the characters. I bought that for Smite and for Paladins years ago, and every time I go back on, all the characters are unlocked. And that's a great deal, and I think that actually ingratiates people to come back to the game, because they have all those characters unlocked, and then every once in a while they say, okay, you know what, I'm going to spend money on getting a skin, which I think is probably the best way to do that. But Disney Speedstorm is not doing that here, and it's kind of scummy, in my opinion, on that end. So $70, you get 5 racers and stuff and a bunch of other stuff on top of that, and some cosmetics if you get the $70 one. So I don't think it's a great deal, especially if you don't know how good the game is. But Gameloft does make other racing games that are fairly popular on the free-to-play space, on mobile, and I think they also have Asphalt on Xbox One, so that's not particularly surprising. In that end, if you're wondering if the game might be bad or good, I don't know, I can't say, but it looks like it might be pretty good in that end, because the trailers look decent, but I've heard nothing involving whether the game is good or bad or not, and no one's doing any reviews on it, because I don't think anyone has access to it, and everyone's going to get access to it when it comes to early access. And of course, because it's on early access, a lot of places do not want to review it, because it's considered an incomplete game, which is, I think, probably the scummiest thing that Disney and Gameloft are doing right now. These are both companies that have a lot of money, especially Disney, that have a lot of money, and can really spend the time and spend the money to actually make sure the game is good, and then have, I don't know, they can have a beta at some point and say, oh, we're just going to do a beta test and see how this is. And then have the beta test, have anybody play it, and then come back, make it free to play, and then do the Founders Pack. They could do that, no problem. But they're doing this early access route, which is why I really do not like early access all that much. I really don't, because it gives people the excuse to release unfinished games, money like right away, with no promise that you will get what you want. And with the way Disney is right now, and Disney has been with video games for a long time, if the game doesn't work out, they will cancel it. And this is not Disney, but this is sort of makes me think a lot of what happened with Multiverses, where personally I bought a Founders Pack for Multiverses, and then after a week I stopped playing it. But now with what's going on with Multiverses, that Founders Pack in about another month is going to be worthless, because I'm not going to be able to play the game. I'm not going to be able to play it online specifically. So at that point, I am much more uneasy about spending money on an early access game, especially if it's supposed to be free to play. I would rather wait until it's released and see how it turns out. So there's that on that end. But okay, those are my feelings. What do I think is the sales potential for this game? And I will say this, one of the big things that Speedstorm has here is that it's on all systems. It's on PC, it's on the previous Xbox and PlayStation, it's on the new Xbox and PlayStation, it's on Switch. Now, I do not think it's going to do great on Switch, because people who have Mario Kart and are thrilled with Mario Kart, love Mario Kart, it's getting updated, they play Mario Kart all the time. There is no reason for them to spend $70 on this game when they're only getting 5 characters. Or 6, I should say. So in that end, I'm going to say, no, it's not going to do great at all. I think on the Switch, it will be fairly empty when it comes to the population on there, or the people that are buying the game, until it goes free to play and people try it then. But I think when it comes to the Founders Packs and the early access, I don't think anyone's going to buy into it. Well, there's going to be a few, but not as much. But with the other consoles, especially with, let's say, parents who have families and have kids, and they want them to, but they have no access to Mario Kart because it's only on Nintendo, and they only have an Xbox, and they only have a PlayStation. I think this can do okay. And specifically in the early access period, I would not be surprised if the Founders Packs reach, without getting to specifics, 200 to 250K in in this early access period. I could see that being pretty easy on that one. And I think the one that it will sell on the most is probably PlayStation. I don't think it will sell a lot on Steam. I certainly do not think it's going to... I don't think it's going to work on PC. I certainly do not think it's going to sell well on Switch. I think those two, forget it. They're not going to do it. On PlayStation or on Xbox, especially with parents who have those systems and really don't have a lot for their kids to play, I can see them saying, you know what, I'll throw 30 and check that out and see how it is, and maybe little Timmy or little Veronica might actually enjoy it. So I think in that end it might work, and I think in that end it could get some sales in there. But the question is going to be, once that happens, are the things that they're doing to monetize the game going to be fair enough where people will not feel guilty or disgusted for actually purchasing stuff in the game to add to their experience? And right now, looking at what they're doing with these Founders Packs, I don't think so. I think it's going to be pretty bad. I think, and Gameloft, if I recall, I don't have a lot of experience with Gameloft games, but from what I've heard from a lot of games, especially the Asphalt series, is that they nickel and dime constantly, and I mean constantly. And if Speedstorm does something along those lines, I don't see a lot of people being happy with their purchases and being happy with getting the Founders Packs and everything for these games. So I think in its early access period, it will get, I think 250K within its early access period is fair. And be a lot less if the word goes around that the free-to-play model is especially egregious. So, but I think this will sell okay, and when it comes to the Founders Packs, and then once it becomes free-to-play, if the things that they do in the free-to-play model is good and people think it's fair and it's okay to spend a little money on that, then I could see this being pretty big on Xbox and PlayStation. But when it comes to Switch and PC, nah, I don't think it's going to do very well. I think you're going to see that those populations are going to be very low. But that's not going to matter anyway because this is a cross-play and cross-save title. So if you have this game on PC, you can download it on Xbox when it's free to play, and you can get all your access. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. But when it comes to like gamers who were Mario Kart fans but don't have Switches, I don't know how many of you there are, but for this, I think they're going to look at this and going to see the pricing model, and they're going to be pretty turned off by this, and I would be too. Anyway, what do you guys think of Disney Speedstorm? What do you think the sales potential of this game is going to be? I would like to hear in the comments what you think and what you feel it's going to be. Do you think it's going to be a success? Do you think it's going to fail? I don't think it's going to fail, but I don't think it's going to be the big seller that Disney's hoping it to be. And I'm going to say this, if this does not do well in its early access period, I can see by the end of the year, when they're supposedly releasing this game, Disney turn around and say, oh, we're not making enough money, shut it down. I can see that happen, no problem. I can see that happening, but we'll see on that one. Sound off in the comments. Let me know on social media what you think, or if you want to leave a comment, or do an email at zerowizcast@gmail.com about your thoughts. I may use your comments and show them on the weekly dividend. So, let me know. For this week, I know some of you are wondering, hey, Wiz, there's a bigger game coming out. Maybe you should cover that. Well, that's coming out Friday, and that's Dead Island 2. So I'm going to cover that and the sales potential I think it will have Wednesday. And that should be interesting. Tuesday, me and Zero are going to be on the movie club. We're going to be reviewing Arrival, the Denis Villeneuve film, starring Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. Thursday, me and Kim are going to be reviewing Field of Dreams, that old baseball flick starring Kevin Costner. And if you have suggestions of what maybe we should review, it doesn't have to be a baseball movie. It can be any type of movie. Any kind of suggestions that you want us to review for either Zero or Kim and me, let us know on the comment section or through our email at zerowizcast@gmail.com. But until then, this is Capital Games. I am the Wiz. Talk to you next time. Bye.